My phone's beeping. Let me take care of that. Hello, everyone. How's it going? Gonna be getting started in just a sec. Hyperbole is the most important thing ever. Mornings should not start until at least noon. In other words of wisdom. From Cordovan, your community manager at Lord of the Rings Online. Hello, and welcome to Court of the Rings here on twitch.tv/LotraStream, youtube.com/Lord of the Rings/live, and facebook.com/Lotro. Oh man, am I tired today. I have been going for about 3 weeks, non-stop, including working weekends. So I'm going to have a day off tomorrow, which means I basically need to get through the day today and finally have a day off. So, hello, if I'm a little out of sorts. That's why. I need a break. How's it going, everyone? I am glad to be here, though. I don't really know what I'm going to be doing today. I think I'll probably try to get back to the epic story here. Now that the anniversary event's over, you can see I did pick up my dragon cape over the weekend. I got that last bit in. So that's cool. I like that cape very much. Cloak, however you want to call it. Peter over on YouTube says, can I have a question? Yes, for sure, absolutely. I would encourage anyone who does have a question about Lord of the Rings Online to go ahead and ask. If I can answer it, I will. If I can't, I'll just say that. I can't promise every answer is going to be accurate, but I will do my best. Yeah, see, that's what, the argument against having mornings start at noon is then you're missing 2 breakfasts. But, time is arbitrary. So, just because it's noon doesn't mean you can't call it breakfast. If you just woke up, that counts, doesn't it? Hey, Dean over on Facebook, thank you very much for being here 9 years in. Hello, Mustafa, Christopher, Ramy. So like I say, I think I'm going to get back to the epic story here. I've got book 2 to do at level 31, and I still have to do the prelude at level 30 here, so maybe I'll do that one, the book 3 forward. Ooh, excuse me. It's springtime. All the flowers, I've heard of flowers in the air, causing us to sneeze. Will the anniversary quartermaster return? We still get tokens for the scavenger hunts. Yes. It's going to be our next game update. We did realize that was going to be a thing. So what we're going to be doing is putting an NPC in, I believe it's Bree, and that'll be with the next game update, whether most likely a point update or a point update. Tentative time frame is probably not next week, but the week after, I think. And then that person will let you turn in your anniversary tokens. Still, feel free to collect them for now. At the very least, you'll be able to use them next year. But the plan is to bring in temporary NPC back in Bree to exchange those at the next point update. I did also talk. Right now, we only have the scavenger hunt going on. Forsaken in north of what? We don't have other Lotra bonus days happening, but I did actually talk to Quartermaster and Tolero, they who do the calendar, and let them know, I think we're due for some bonus days adding, and so they're doing that work actually this week, perhaps early next week, to fill out the calendar for the next couple of months. Because right now we don't really have anything going on until Hobnanigans returns, I believe, June 1st, other than the scavenger hunt. But the plan is to get some things out, not this weekend, but for future weekends. So if you're like, calendar's looking a little light, yes, we are aware of this. Alright. Never actually detached that. Alright. Jeez, you guys were just giving me stuff. I think I'll leave that deed in the log for now. Might as well do my Hobbit gifts while we're sitting here on the stream getting things ready. Ooh. That seems useful. I'll have a Tome of Extraordinary Experience. Jeepers. Huh. Alright. Nice. Yes, to follow, that sounds good. You know, actually,
A lovely day, isn't it?
you can maybe help me out with something. So, Stefala, I happen to know that you're a German language speaker. I'm going to get the beacon out today, but I didn't realize until yesterday when I sent the stuff out for localization into French and German that our French and German localization people are on vacation this week. Actually, one is sick and one's on vacation. So I don't know how I'm going to get the beacon localized into French and German this week. It may have to be, unfortunately, another week of English only. But if you feel like you're up to the task, Stefala, get in touch with me over Slack or something like that. Maybe we can work something out. Yep. Might we see NPCs one day get a makeover similar to our characters? That's a very good question. I'd say chances are decent that might happen at some point, but it won't be day and date with Mordor for sure. You could do 1 week of just mail delivery quests? Oh god. Yeah. Super Frenic, that would be fantastic too. Just get in touch with me over Slack and we'll figure something out. There was mention of a special guest coming on soon. Is that still happening? Yes. So, let's see. I need to get to... I think I can go Michael Delving to Bree, right? Oh, no, I can just go West Bree. Okay. Yeah, so I had strongly hinted that it was going to happen last week, and then, as things are wont to do, I was notified about 15 minutes afterwards. It's like, hope you didn't say that was going to happen this week. It's still happening. We just need to get all the things signed, papers written in blood and what have you. So it's in the works. It's just going to happen as soon as we can. But the announcement had to get pushed out a bit because I thought we were ready. Everyone thought we were ready, except for the lawyers, I guess. They do their own thing, right? So, but we need, once everything is signed off and official, yes, we will have an announcement. It'll be here. No problem, Hillieren. You'd like to put videos in the beacon. So if you want to get something in the beacon, just send us an email at contact@standingstonegames.com. Eventually I'm going to create a special lotro at standingstonegames.com, but I don't think that's up and running yet. So just for now, use contact@standingstonegames.com. Just give me a link to whatever it is you want in the beacon, whether it's an event you or your kin's doing that's open to the public, a new video series or a blog post you put up, some kind of cool screenshot or something like that. I can never get too much email. Well, I can, but then I'll just sort of sort through it. I'd rather have too much than miss something, so there you go. Well, I'm not trying to blame the lawyers. I'm just saying maybe I was a little over enthusiastic in what it would take to get the announcement ready to go. And perhaps I wasn't quite as up on the timeline as I should have been. Yes, also the anniversary giveaway I'm going to do on the forums. That can keeps getting kicked down the road as well. I've just been really busy with both Lord of the Rings and other game stuff, along with work and what have you. Real life getting in the way, so I just haven't had time to put the announcement on the forums, and I don't want to do the contest and then not be able to deliver the prizes in time. So what my current plan is to do that early next week. I'll probably have it run through the week. We'll give away some Lotro points and some Ghost Bears, Tundra Cubs, maybe a few titles and things like that. Some of the anniversary stuff that I was able to give away on the live stream there. And that'll be just on the forums. It'll be a separate thread, and it'll be most likely... Oh, I don't know where I'll put it. Either general or official discussions or something. One for each prize. And I'll just make you jump through a small hoop to enter your name. I'll sort through it to make sure that we don't have duplicates. And then do a random drawing. And that'll happen next week. Allie the Space Hobbit, I need to buy a Devicam with a soup ladle, a cup of coffee. Where can I get a Starbucks gift card? I don't know, probably not in Massachusetts. We're all Dunkin' Donuts here. I was just saying today, it's just a matter of time until the city council starts the eminent domain process to put a Dunkin' Donuts in everyone's front yard. I counted 7 Dunkin' Donuts within 2 miles of my house. That's how many Dunkin' Donuts there are. It's worse as you get into Boston. So. Alright. That's true, Super Frenic. In Boston, there are Dunkin' Donuts literally, and I mean that literally, across the street from another Dunkin' Donuts. It happens in multiple places. I don't get it. It's fine. People can like what they like. But really, do you need 2 per block? You know? Yeah, it's even worse than Waffle House in the South. Yep. It's like if Waffle House took over every gas station. That's what it's like around here. Seriously, there's like 191 Dunkin' Donuts within the eastern Massachusetts. It's a high-calorie neighborhood, you're right. Is there a new class coming? No, we do have the High Elf. That'll be a race that'll be coming with Mordor, most likely. But a new class is not currently being worked on. I'm sure we'll see a new class at some point here, but it's not coming with Mordor. Any info on what the Bjorning class balance passes intend to do, or is it still underlying bug fixing? So I think the start of it will be to get them really to a baseline condition, maybe about where they should have been to begin with, and sort of we're really going to, like I said, get them all working the way they're supposed to be working, and then do an evaluation of what further needs to be done with them, and do that work. The thing is in some ways, in many ways, Bjorning is not in bad shape. It's just kind of buggy, and some of the things aren't quite doing what they really should be doing, and what have you. So the idea of that is to just kind of get it to really a base level, figure out what work needs to be done, and then do that iteration work. Okay, so I need to go... Nope, not that one. I need to go to Candaeth. That's the Forsaken Inn, north of Weathertop. Let me try to remember where the heck that is. Yeah, it's not here though, right? It's... Yeah, Lone Lands. Alright, so minus your... So it looks like... Yeah, I can't just get straight to the Forsaken Inn from here. So... Right? Or am I wrong?
You need.
Fortune... Yeah, North Downs isn't right. Chicken and lands, no. Alright, well, it's fine. I can just sort of do the ride, I guess. Let me get on my horse. Oh, it becomes available after I do that epic? Okay, that makes sense. Osgurth to Candaith. Oh, that's nice. That's cool, too. Any chance we will see a price rework on old content with Mordor? We are being forced to buy $15 quad pack keys from shady sites. Sorry, I was being a jerk there. I could say that we're working to get the quad pack back in Steam. It's going to take a little effort yet. It's not ready yet. We have limited control over sort of some of the stuff on Steam. So, but it is something that we're working towards. In terms of a reprice, though, of, say, everything, no, probably not. Let me see, is that insert? Nope. And, nope. Unlock. There we go. Yeah, someone's saying the biggest issue with Bjorning is the bear form is the only thing that's good. The man form can't stand on its own. Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of thing we're going to be looking at for sure. Oh no. Wah! Poor horsey. Sorry, buddy. That crunch always gets me. Let's see. Please bring the VIP sub to Steam as well. Could do that. I don't know. It may be a business-related decision why that's not the case. I don't think I can really get into it, though. Will we soon be able to pre-purchase the Mordor expansion? Depends on, I guess, what your definition of soon is. It is going to be a while yet. I think one of the things that's going to be different this time around is, I don't think on the last expansion, but what the expansion before that, we had like 3 months ahead of time or something like that that you could do a pre-purchase. We're not doing that this time around. I think it's going to be 2-3 weeks or something like that. So yeah, but it's not going to happen yet. And we'll have a lot more information about that as we get closer to it. But if you're expecting, say, a 3-4 month long pre-purchase window, I don't think we're going to be doing that this time. Alright, Kickman. Hey, how's it going? I recognize that name from the forums. In the past, I did some Lotro meet and greets here in Florida. Turbine, Sapience, and Freelorn would send some loot for door prizes, etc. If I planned another one, would I be able to help support it with LP codes or some hats and shirts? I could do the LP codes, but I can't do the hats and shirts. There's two reasons for that. We don't really have a setup in place to do that level of shipping to player events. I mean, in the past when I've done them, I've just paid for it out of my own pocket. But if we're looking for a large scale event, I just don't really want to, spend $50 of my own money or whatever to do it. And we're also running really low on both sizes and number of some of those older t-shirts and that. So it's going to be a while, I think, before we would be able to support something like that. But yes, on the LP codes, that for sure I can help you out with. So just get in touch with me through the forums, private message me or something. I'd be happy to help you out. Alright, there we go. Alright, so now, to get to Candaeth, who is over here. And I know, for example, if I recall correctly, I believe Sapience had family out in that area, so he was able to sometimes go there in person. I don't have family in Florida, so I don't think I'm going to be able to say, meet you out there or anything like that. But I would be happy at the very least to get you some codes. Hey, Lambessa. Lambie Pew. Any insight you can give on our characters to be able to enter areas like Shelob's Lair or Minas Morgul? Sorry, I can't spoil that sort of thing. I can't give away Mordor stuff. Not yet. You'll be seeing it pretty soon, I think. Soonish on Bullroar. Hey, Jerosi, nice to see you. So, they just sent just a few shirts and CDs. Oh, there you go. Okay, let me take care of you, white hand pillagers, you. Messing with the Gwynstrel, the Dwarven Minstrel. What do you expect, other than death? Hopefully not mine. Woot. Are the High Elves going to be free for everyone? No. Sorry. But we need to recoup our development cost on them. Will we see 2 betas on Bullroar? First High Elf and then a new avatar, then a second one with Mordor? I would say, yeah, at least 2. Probably 2 or 3, something like that. Kind of depends what's ready to go and when and all that sort of thing. But certainly more than 1. When are we going to see the Mordor trailer?
How can I be of service?
Okay. Where the heck is Helberod? Hmm. Oh, is in the North Downs, north of Elwainin. So I guess go back to the Forsaken Inn, huh? Will the lifetime sub be available ever again? No. What is the best way to make suggestions on some pricing of various items in the Lotro store? Some would help induce more microtransactions if they were a tad bit more reasonable. I believe there is a store discussion part of the forums. Otherwise, the suggestion part of the forums is perfectly acceptable as well. And I guarantee you that our store team does indeed read that stuff. When will the pre-order be released? Not for some time yet. It'll be a little while yet. Will High Elves be able to play as a Burg or a Captain? No on the Burglar. Yes on the Captain. Epics are annoying with all the traveling. Yeah. Someone said, do I play other digital games? Man, do I play a lot of video games. You have no idea. Actually, you probably do. Many of you probably play as many games as well. But yes, I am a video game nerd like you would not believe. Crap. Can I get there from Osgurath? Or do I need to go to Bree? What are some of the unique aspects that set High Elves apart from existing Elven players? Appearances? Yes. Abilities? Yes. Skills? Yes. Details will be coming shortly. I can go from West Gate. Oh, okay. So I can just go to Bree and then do the West Gate. Okay. Cool. What if the game detects when a fellowship or raid is made of members of the same kinship and each one gets a buff or something? I want my character to feel the same like me. That would certainly go a ways to encouraging kinship grouping. Why did Lotro switch from an in-game store to opening an external browser? I can't get into the store now because it doesn't work in the external browser for me. So the best thing to check is to make sure that your browser is updated, because it should work. It works for both Firefox, Chrome, and Internet Explorer. And Opera. I've used Opera too. But why it was switched was one of the pieces of the Lotro store is done through a third-party vendor, and that third-party vendor is charged with being what's called PCI compliant. That's, I believe, stands for personal credit information compliant. It's basically a set of consumer protection uh, guidelines, and being PCI certified is, I think, highly recommended in the US and legally required in Europe, something like that. And one of the changes that they made did not work well with the internal store, particularly what's called the Trouser section of the store. That's the internal web browser that's used. So, in order to remain PCI compliant, because it gets updated all the time, you have to keep up with the latest security protocols, things like that. We have to do work to get the in-game browser working again. And that work is underway with one of our engineers. But until that work is completed and signed off on and tested and goes through the certification process and all that sort of thing, we have to do the external store. So that's the why on that. Any chance we can ever buy the pre-order cosmetics in the store? No. Typically on those pre-purchases, we use explicit language saying that this is an exclusive item to that pre-purchase. And if we use that language, again with consumer protection laws and things like that, we cannot go back on that promise. So, sorry. Alright, so boring and great time playing Lotro. What will happen with Lotro after the Mordor release? We have got a lot of stories to tell. We've been talking, I guess, a bit about... A second.
Greetings.
Sorry, where was I? Oh, what we're going to do after Mordor. Yeah, so we're going to basically embark on a new series of stories that put you a little bit more front and center in the action. It gives us a big opportunity to tell a lot of stories and still explore a lot of Middle-earth that remains unexplored. So we think that there's still a ton more that we can talk about and show and do and what have you. So we've got years, frankly, worth of story and stuff that we can tell. Why does this year have to be expansion central, ESO expansions, Final Fantasy expansions, Lotro out this year? Yeah, well, I wasn't aware that we had other games doing that, but it doesn't surprise me. I mean, at its core, the thing with expansions tends to be that they recoup their development costs. Expansions tend to be large areas, which brings with it fairly heavy cost, development cost, and so you need to recoup that cost by doing that kind of thing. There we go. North down. So that's where I want to go. Do I want Trestle Bridge or Estelden? Guess it doesn't really matter, huh? Alright, Tristle Bridge will work. That's fine. Alright, let's see. Quick question about the pre-purchased Mordor. You mentioned it's not going to be 3 months ahead, but can you already tell a bit about the extras? No. The marketing team would be very unhappy with me if I were to give away those kind of details. Gonna have to wait for our formal marketing push, sorry. Are there any areas of Middle-earth not yet visualized by Lotro that I would really like to see? Oh man. Yeah? It's a huge number of things. Jeez, I can't even...
Could I speak with you a moment?
Yeah, I mean, Shelob's Lair would be one of them. That would be pretty rad. Gosh. This is the Hobbit, but like the Goblin King area would be sweet. I don't know. Yeah, I mean the yes. Joego says, you mentioned we will not be releasing all of Mordor in the expansion. Is the plan to release the rest in a dot update or U22? I don't know what the formal nomenclature of it's going to be, whether we call it a dot update or a formal update, but yes, it will be released in a couple of game updates post expansion release as well. Sorry, McVegan Pants, you know me too well. You don't want to send me off on a tangent asking about headphones. Yeah, right. Okay, so Dreadlocky underscore DL. Will we ever fix the performance issues or just ignore it and everyone who is talking about it? Yes, we will continue to work on performance issues. One of the things that we're working on is going to be a 64-bit client. It is our hope that that is successful and that we can get that out fairly soon, and that in doing that we dramatically improve game performance. But it's dangerous to promise that sort of stuff at this point because the work hasn't been done. So I can't say whether it's, what it's all going to be like, right? But yes, that is the plan.
Will you give me a moment of your time?
Ooh. Sweet. That would be cool. And we do continue to work on improving game performance as much as we can. I don't know, Ranger Baggins. A question about getting the battle-worn armor to be dyed. I don't know the answer to that one. I'm sorry. Any chance of Guardians getting an overhaul? When we just start going class to class to class, the answer starts to be about the same, which is, we're going to continue
Could I speak with you a moment?
to work on updating the classes continually over time. It's a never-ending process. So yes. But I don't know that we're going to immediately say be working on Guardian. Is there an estimate on when the character update will hit? It should be in time for it should be in conjunction with the Mordor expansion.
Would you do something for me? Could I speak with you a moment?
The armor is dyeable, but not the cloak. Okay. Any information on the surprise announcement? It's still in the works, and it'll be announced as soon as we're able to. Any news about the Palantir program? I don't really have much to do with the Palantir program, other than pass along some emails to Tiber and crew. So I really can't help you too much in that regard. I'm sorry. Well, let's go. All right. Let's see. Eli says, any chance we can hear about high elf racial bonuses? I can't really get into the crunchy stuff right now. I just don't have that information in front of me. I'm sure it's in a internal wiki doc somewhere, but... Will we ever see an expansion into Silmarillion content? Silmarillion Online? We don't have a license for that. Our license is for the book trilogy. So, ever? Anything, I guess, is theoretically possible. But it's not going to be anytime soon. A lot of people asking about what the differences are between high elves. Sorry, I guess I'm just not ready to do a primer on how high elves are going to work. My understanding is there is a write-up internally on some of that sort of thing, and you'll be seeing more about it on most likely Bull Roarer first. Yeah, so returning player here, question mark on character update. Yeah, we're going to be doing an avatar update, which is going to be an optional update you can toggle for yourself on and off, whether or not it's displayed if you like the old ones better. But the basic idea is it's going to be updated animations, updated look, updated shading, a whole bunch of that kind of thing. And it should hopefully be ready in time for Mordor. Work is currently underway. New hairstyles desperately needed? What? Attack me, NPC. That's not very nice of you. I'm gonna have to Baruchazad you. What the heck, dude? Okay. Wait a second. Oh, okay.
You may help the Yorsk.
Talk to the Earthkin Chieftain.
The Yorskin have need of your help. You may help the Yorskin.
Let's see. Any word on virtues being reworked and levels raised with Mordor? Nothing I can comment on, sorry. Which will be out first, the Avatar update or the High Elf? It should be both. Ideally, it should be both at the same time. Will elf characters at the moment be able to change race? Specifically, probably talking about the High Elf. No. There are no superior and inferior elves. There are simply, different kinds of elves. I do appreciate that over the years, some of the non-high elves have been role-played like high elves, but no. And the reason for that is we don't have an easy way to do a racial respec because of the way Lotro ties races to class abilities. Will pre-order come in different bundles? Yeah, we'll probably have several. So there been talk of creep rebalance. No. I do think we're going to see a little bit of work on PvMP. Not for Mordor. Maybe a little bit afterwards. But some kind of complete rebalance of creeps? Probably not. Did I empty out my quest log enough to accept new quests? Clearly not. Are Captain Skill names going to change for the High Elf race, since many are surrounded around men of Numenor? Yeah, I think that will be taking place, yes. But yeah, I do think we'll be seeing some renaming to take that into account. The level increase was already confirmed during the anniversary stream. Why has this recently not been confirmed after it already was? I don't understand. Anything that we've said on the anniversary stream about the level increase will remain confirmed. We don't really need to reconfirm things once we say it. but I don't understand if there's a specific thing you're talking about, and I don't know specifically what we said about it in the anniversary stream, so I wouldn't want to say more than I'm allowed to right now. When do we expect Mordor to come out? This summer. How is the High Elf coming along? I haven't seen really much about the High Elf at this point. Sorry. It's currently being worked on both by systems and by the art team, but they're sort of doing that work without my input, so I haven't had an opportunity to see it. Sorry. Okay. Be careful with the... Oh. Oh no. That was close. There will not be a new class for the High Elf. The High Elf will have a different set of available classes compared to the non-High Elf, but they will not have a specific new class coming with it. I try to stand behind the art team, but artists are picky of that way. I don't like people watching them all the time.
The Yords can have need of your help. Will you hear my tidings? If you have come to help, you are welcome here. I have great anger.
Okay. Alright, so basically just kind of hanging around killing stuff around here. I can do that. Oh, I did level. Nice. If I don't like my character's appearance after Mordor, but I didn't want to change it to the old appearance, will I be able to change everything in the barber, like head models, skin, eye color, body shape, etc.? I'm going to say probably. I think, I mean, you're not going to be stuck with just the one choice, right? So if you don't like it, I'm going to assume there's going to be flexibility there. Haven't specifically heard that, but that would make sense. You didn't say how much, but whenever it has been asked since, that has not been restated. All we said in the stream was there is a level increase, but we'll not say how many levels. And that's my point. There was a definite yes during the stream, but now a lot of players are confused. And I think it's partly because the definite yes has not been restated. Yes. But yeah. I will, if that's what we said during the live stream, then I will continue to reiterate that that is an accurate statement. That what we said, if we said there's going to be a level cap increase, there will be a level cap increase. I happen to know there will be a level cap increase. And I can't say how much. $9,000. It's got a lot of work ahead of us. But I think we can do it. No. When will beta go live? We're still targeting June, sometime in June, to have at least our first rollout of the Mordor beta. Sorry I can't be more specific than that, but it really is going to be dependent on how work goes in the coming weeks. You know, we are working on all aspects of Mordor right now, and as things get into what's called an alpha state, then beta state, and get Q8 and things like that, we'll be able to give you more information as we get close to it. But a lot of that's really going to happen as things come together. And if you know much about game development, you'll know a lot of it comes together sort of towards the end. So it's a little early to say like which weekend in June or anything like that, but that is our plan, is to do June. Is there anything specific I personally am excited about to work on in the Mordor expansion? So I'm a community manager. That means for Mordor, for me, it's going to be a lot of like live streams, interviews, probably some work on publishing and dev diaries, social media type things. So I have seen, say, for example, at least an early version of our logo for it, things like that, and that all is very exciting to me. But in terms of personally working, that's really, you know, I'm not a game developer per se, so. But I know there are definitely some areas I am most looking forward to, up to and including, say, the Fate of the One Ring. I think we got some very exciting stuff happening. Mordor's going to be rad. I don't have a favorite race class combo because I haven't played enough to really do that. I can tell you that I've played my Hunter, and I liked my Hunter just fine. And I'm really liking my Minstrel here right now. I think maybe I like this Minstrel a little bit more than I liked even the Hunter. So I don't know. It's a good question. I am looking forward to playing a Lore Master as well. I want to play a Rune Keeper. That sounds pretty great. Captain Guardian sounds cool. I mean, it's just too much I haven't played to really be able to answer that. Hopefully someone says, if we do name changes, do we have to worry about potential bugs with legacies? I'm going to assume that they will take that into account, so hopefully not. Cool. Exogenesis, have we sorted out the new terms for SSG's NDA for new Palantir applicants? My understanding is it's really just kind of a replace one with the other, get it localized. That would really be a question for Tiber, though. Tiber coordinates Palantir. I really don't have a lot of involvement in it. Haven't heard that we have any issues with it, so... I know that she was recently looking at bringing in some people, and we'll be doing some more of that over time. Yes, I know I have a pending quest next to my mini-map. Let's see. How do you submit to get access to the Palantir server? Just go... You can, see that info just easily on the forums. Easier for me to just tell you to go to the forums than talk about it here. Nice. We have a spammer in Facebook. Alright. That's not very nice of you. Is there going to be a Lotro VR? No. No. It'd be cool, though. Is The Hobbit included in the license or only the Lord of the Rings trilogy? Just the Lord of the Rings trilogy. At least that's my understanding. What is Palantir? Palantir is a, I guess you could call alpha / pre-alpha. It's a semi-private development resource where we can basically bring in people to get an early look at things, get some early player feedback. It has its own separate server that operates separately from, you know, the other regular servers, and it's really kind of a alpha and sometimes even pre-alpha sort of server, if that makes sense. I don't know, Nian Nili. I don't have that level of detailed information about the limits of the license. Just in general terms, we got the books. What is the group content projected to be in Mordor as far as 6/12 raids? Well, we did have a raid confirmed on the anniversary livestream, so there will be a post-Mordor expansion raid. I don't really want to say more about it than that. I appreciate what you're saying, Kickman, on the Hobnanigans notifications. Maybe we should do something about that. Eothrin says, why a short pre-order period for Mordor? My understanding is it's only short in relation to 2 expansions ago, but is basically in line with what we've done at other times. I don't think we've always had, like, 3-month-long pre-purchase windows. I think we just did it for... not Rohan? So, no, I mean, there's nothing, like, specific to it. It just, like, the idea of a pre-purchase generally is to encourage people to buy now, so to speak, and then give them some benefits of doing that. And I'm not sure that having, say, a multi-month pre-purchase window really accomplishes that goal. Well, that's just kind of businessy stuff. Alright. Any chance of the Mithril Edition returning or doing a Mithril Edition 2, including some Gondor quest packs, Lotra points, and a steed? It was a good seller. My GameStop couldn't keep it in stock. Interesting. I haven't heard of anything like that, but that's a cool idea. Trust me, we will give you an opportunity to purchase Mordor.
You are welcome here.
Alright, I think I'll probably call it here after turning in this stuff.
Greetings.
Greetings. Don't need that. Can't wear that. Yeah. Take it. Oh no. Oh. Why must I always do this to myself? Yeah, I mean, I can appreciate what you're saying, but like, if you have an 8-month window to pre-purchase something, why would you want to? Where's the impetus to give them money now as opposed to 7 months from now? I guess I just don't really understand.
Understand our troubles? Hear me out, traveler.
I could always let off fireworks.
The
I
York
could.
have need of your
Yeah, that's right. Will we ever bring back the ability to buy a lifetime account? No. Yeah, I know if it's got a red frame, I can't wear it. I was going to see if I can wear it as a cosmetic. When will we know more about the High Elf? At the very least, you'll see it on Bullroar fairly early on in the preview process. And hopefully we can get some info for you before that. Any plans to bring Fellowship maneuvers back to the spotlight in the not-too-distant future? No. Not in the not too distant future. It's something that's kind of a long-term agenda item, though, that we would like to do. But I don't think it's going to happen in the short term here. Let's see. Some people are worried they need to save money for Mordor and would like to know how much but don't want to miss pre-orders. So, the general guidance I will give you in regard to that is if you are familiar with the pricing that we've done for all of our other expansions, there's some wiggle room there, but it's going to be in the same general ballpark. Alright, I think that's going to wrap it up then. So thank you very much for watching Court of the Rings here on twitch.tv/LotraStream, youtube.com/Lord of the Rings /live, and facebook.com/Lotro. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next Thursday for Court of the Rings. You can find our full Lotro stream schedule over on the Twitch page here. The stuff does get archived to both Twitch and YouTube in many cases. And we have a full schedule. 7 days a week. We got shows pretty much any time, and an active Lotro community on Twitch there. So pretty much any time you check into Twitch, you'll be seeing someone play Lotro. Thank you very much for playing. Hope I was able to get you some halfway decent answers, and I'll talk to you again soon. Have fun.